Mayor of Detroit visited Marquette.
E. coli outbreak caused by Chipotle. Hi, I'm Amr Mansour.
And I'm Melissa Lambert, and this is Public Eye News. The mayor of Detroit, Mike Dugan, visited Marquette Monday and toured an event at NMU. Founding director Michael Lila gave Dugan an explanation of how the process worked. Governor Rick Snyder also expressed interest in entrepreneur fostering programs similar to Invent at NMU. In the past year it has been open, Invent at NMU has had more than 100 potential ideas brought to them. Mayor Dugan said that this program was very impressive and that he thinks it will be successful for years to come. The mayor also spoke at the monthly meeting of Marquette County Economic Club. And the public will vote on whether or not to give more than $20 million in renovations to the Tequamanon area public schools on Tuesday. Even though the district's population is declining, the school needs upgrades on its facilities and athletic fields. The school is currently at 50% capacity and the foundation is deteriorating. The public will determine if two bonds, one worth $18 million to renovate the school and make it smaller, and another for $2.27 million to upgrade athletic facilities, will be granted to the district. The bond proposal would cost an average of $8 to $10 more per home per month for 20 years. The school is currently paying $100,000 in utilities on parts of the school that are empty.
A state Senate committee met Monday to discuss upgrades to the Sulaks. The committee updated Senate Resolution 105, encouraging the federal government to support plans for a modern-day Sulaks. The locks are vital for the travel of over 100,000 vessels transporting iron ore, coal, and grain. This makes the Sulaks essential to Michigan and Canadian economy. The resolution will now be presented to the full Senate for consideration. And two drug suspects from Gwinn will now appear before Michigan Circuit Court. Corey Racine faces charges for the manufacture and distribution of methamphetamine and ecstasy. His partner in crime, Brittany Anders, is charged with purchasing the materials for their meth. The two were first reported to authorities when they were constantly driving ATVs over someone's property. Anders is set to appear in court on the 6th.
The Roxbury Group announced Monday plans to construct a $24 million apartment building on top of a 10-story parking garage in Detroit. The Griswold will be built close to Campus Martius Park and comes from the same company that redeveloped the David Whitney building last year. This development will add 80 market-rate apartments to downtown Detroit and is projected to be finished by the end of 2016. According to a release, the units will have an unobstructed view of downtown. There will be 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments, some with a balcony and floor-to-ceiling windows. It is projected that the market rate price of the biggest unit will be $2,000 a month. And a 17-year-old boy in Rockford made a terror threat against the school because he was being forced to repeat the 11th grade. According to police, Jagar Ray Schwartz of Belmont wrote, quote, "I'm not complaining, I'm just going to shoot everybody up," end quote, on an Instagram post on September 13th. A friend of Schwartz contacted the Kent County Sheriff's Department to alert them of the text. Schwartz was charged with making a false threat of terrorism, which has a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. He remains in the Kent County Jail on a bond of $20,000. And stay tuned because after the break, we'll be back with your national and international news.
On the vast slopes of Mount Everest, in the greatest canyon on Earth, and on the slopes of Kilimanjaro, a leap of faith means the difference between life and death.
Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern.
And welcome back. Chipotle restaurant has a new best friend, E. coli. The Mexican food chain has closed over 40 stores since health officials linked an E. coli outbreak to their dangerously delicious food. Officials believe the contamination may be in some of Chipotle's fresh vegetables. Nearly 22 people in the West Coast have confirmed cases of E. coli, and the prime suspect is now the infamous Chipotle burrito bowl. Washington officials recommend anyone who ate at Chipotle and now have bloody diarrhea should go get tested. Donald Trump and Ben Carson are going toe-to-toe for the lead in the GOP race for the presidential nomination. Meanwhile, everyone else is struggling to figure out how to move forward with future debates. Craig Boswell has the latest from Washington, D.C.
Donald Trump released his new book Tuesday morning, and if you ask him, it's great.
My book is very hard-hitting. It says it like it is, and based on what Simon & Schuster just told me, it's selling like hotcakes.
The book may end up being a bestseller, but some voters are having buyer's remorse. Trump now trails Dr. Ben Carson in the latest national poll.
I think people are looking for some truth, some honesty, integrity, and I believe that that's something that hopefully that I offer to them.
Unity in the Republican ranks may be at a low as the 15 different campaigns struggle with how to set up debate formats they can all agree on.
I had 2 questions in 3 hours in the last debate.
Aides from nearly every campaign met at a suburban D.C. hotel, and what emerged was a letter of questions and demands for TV networks airing future debates. But Donald Trump was the first to pull out, saying he'll negotiate his own deal. He was soon followed by John Kasich, Carly Fiorina, and Chris Christie. Their disagreements became comedic fuel for the Democrats.
If you can't handle those guys, then I don't think the Chinese and the Russians are going to be too worried about you.
The next GOP debate is 1 week from tonight. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
A lawsuit filed by a 55-year-old law student will be heard by the U.S. Supreme Court Wednesday. Stephen Shapiro was frustrated with the way Maryland redrew the state's congressional districts, and he filed a lawsuit that was thrown out in 2013 by a judge that said the suit wasn't based on valid legal theory. Shapiro says a federal law called the Three-Judge Court Act was violated because the lawsuit wasn't forwarded to a special 3-judge panel. Shapiro could not find a lawyer to take his case, so he enlisted the help of 2 other Maryland residents and drafted his own lawsuit after finding other redistricting cases online. The Supreme Court announced June 8th that they would hear the case to decide if the dismissal was appropriate or not. Shapiro said he would volunteer to skip his contracts class in order to watch. And fire crews were called in to retrieve 2 activists who rappelled from the press box of Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, and unfurled a protest banner Monday night during the nationally televised National Football League game between the Carolina Panthers and the Indianapolis Colts. Vladimir Duthier has more.
I'd love to explain to you exactly what's going on, but we don't know yet. But there are a couple of fans who were rappelling there.
Confusion took over last night's Monday Night Football game as 2 protesters dangled over fans at the Carolina Panthers Bank of America Stadium.
There's a banner that they're trying to get unfurled.
The demonstrators, a man and a woman, rappelled down from an upper balcony, unfurling a banner reading "Dump Dominion," calling on Bank of America to cut ties with energy company Dominion and its natural gas facility in Maryland. Officials cleared out the section below where the protesters continued to dangle well into the 4th quarter, but the game never stopped. Police say the pair refused commands to come down, and a total of 4 people were arrested. The scene in the stands quickly overshadowed the play on the field, with many wondering on social media how the 2 got the equipment past stadium security. Protesters smuggled a banner and rappelling gear into a NFL Panthers game, one fan tweeted, yet most people can't get in with a bottle of water. A spokesperson for the Panthers says the team, as well as Charlotte police, are investigating the incident.
The trial of Oscar Pistorius continues as the South African Supreme Court questioned his defense earlier today. Pistorius has been suspect for killing his girlfriend back on Valentine's Day 2013. The panel of 5 judges must now decide whether to convict him of murder or to order for a retrial. Pistorius' defense attorney was questioned for nearly 3 hours, while Pistorius himself was not present at the hearing. He was released from jail last month and is currently under house arrest. And after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
Decision-making lies at the heart of everything. Neuroscience shows that you are not an individual. You're made up of multiple competing drives.
Your brain is locked in a great power struggle with itself. Do we ever act in a purely rational way, or is that simply an illusion that we cling to?
Join us Wednesday evening at 10.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Douglas Hardy with your Public Eye News weather. And if you look behind me at the Academic Mall, you can see that it's a beautiful fall day. There's some activity out there and everyone seems to be enjoying the nice sunny weather. Today, it's partially cloudy, temperatures of 66 degrees, winds south-southeast at 8 miles an hour, and a barometric pressure of 30.07 inches and dropping. Tonight, it's mostly clear with a low of 46, winds south at 7 miles an hour. And tomorrow, it's partially cloudy with a high of 59 and winds south-southwest at 11 miles an hour. Looking around the UP, we can see that in Sault Ste. Marie, it's 48 and cloudy. Manistee is 57 and partially cloudy. Escanaba 58 and cloudy, and Menominee is 59 and cloudy. Over in Iron Mountain, it's 65 and sunny. In Ironwood, it's 66 and partially sunny, and up in Houghton, it's 59 and mostly sunny. Back here in Marquette, it's 66 and partially cloudy. Looking ahead, we can see that Thursday, there's a high of 61, a low of 49, and it's partially sunny. Friday, there will be a high of 49, a low of 35, and cloudy. And finally, Saturday, there's a high of 45 and a low of 33, partially cloudy. Well, it looks like the sun's finally shown up.
Yeah, the sun is definitely shining on the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton tries to distract Graham Gano in practice sometimes by walking over to the veteran kicker and whispering in his ear, just a little bit of pressure. Gano answered that pressure on a rainy Monday night. He connected on 2 overtime field goals, including a 52-yarder that lifted the undefeated Carolina Panthers to a 29-26 victory over the Indianapolis Colts. Carolina earned its 11th consecutive regular season win and took a 2-game lead over the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC South. The Panthers didn't make it easy on themselves. Luck limited to 40 yards passing in the first 3 quarters threw 2 touchdown passes in the final 7 minutes and 11 seconds of regulation and led the Colts to a tying field goal in the final seconds of the game. The Detroit Red Wings and Tampa Bay Lightning are hoping they've solved their scoring issues. Detroit's Henrik Zetterberg goes for his 300th goal as the Red Wings try to win back-to-back games tonight for the first time since they last faced the Lightning 3 weeks ago. Detroit is trying to build on its best offensive showing of the season, beating Ottawa 5-3 on the road Sunday after going 1-5-1 while averaging 1.71 goals following a 3-1 win over Tampa Bay on October 13th. The Lightning were on a worse stretch as they were outscored 8-2 during an 0-3-1 span before Sunday's 4-3 win at Carolina. Former Jacksonville Jaguars draft bust Blaine Gabbert's career as a starting quarterback isn't over. The San Francisco 49ers are benching Colin Kaepernick for Gabbert, who was Jaguars' #1 draft pick in 2011. Gabbert has played in just 1 game since the Jaguars traded him to San Francisco for a 6th-round pick in March 2014. The 49ers re-signed Gabbert to a 2-year, $4 million contract after the 2014 season. Gabbert, the number 10 overall pick in the 2011 draft, never became the franchise quarterback former Jaguars general manager Gene Smith envisioned when he traded 2 picks to get him. The 6'4", 235-pound Gabbert was 5-22 as a starter and threw 22 touchdown passes and 24 interceptions in 28 career games with the Jags. So it looks like Gabbert isn't the only one making a comeback.
Exactly, Emily. Never give up on that comeback. Never give up on education, kids. A 97-year-old Michigan woman received her high school diploma today. Margaret Bakima was supposed to graduate high school back in 1936, but had to drop out to take care of her siblings when her mom had cancer. Congratulations, Miss Bakima, for graduating from Catholic Central High School. We'll keep you all updated on her college plans. Do you think she'll go to Northern, guys? She's all... right. It looks like that's all the time we have for on Public Eye News. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.